Hello students, today we are going to learn about Introduction to Chemistry. When we hear the word chemistry, we start imagining oxygen, liquids kept in bottles, colorful glasses, apparatus, symbols, explosions, and so on. Chemistry is much more than that. Everything around us is chemistry. The air we breathe, clothes we wear, food we eat, water we drink, houses we live in, medicines we take, our bags, books, processes such as digestion, photosynthesis, and respiration are all chemistry. Chemistry is the branch of science concerned with the substances of which matter is composed, the investigation of their properties and reactions, and the use of such reactions to form new substances. Now we will see the history of chemistry, that it originated from the ancient times. It originated from the word alchemy. The art of alchemy first started with the ultimate goal of converting elements into gold using philosopher's stone, a substance supposed to change any metal into gold. Alchemists were trying to discover the elixir of eternal life that would enable people to live longer. Although they could not succeed in this, they were successful to some extent in developing processes to extract metals and prepare alloys, which proved to be of great use. Later on, Aristotle, a Greek philosopher, stated that air, fire, earth, and water were the fundamental elements from which everything is formed as a combination. Water and air were the very first chemicals that man used for his existence. With the knowledge of making fire, man's knowledge regarding metals developed. He needed vessels to cook food in, and this led to discovery of metals. He also made weapons from metals. Charak and Sushruth, founder of medicines in our country, knew a lot about using plant extracts for curing people. A chemist performs various experiments with materials under various conditions. Observations are recorded, and finally, conclusion regarding the behavior of substance is drawn. Discovering a new method of extraction of aluminium from bauxite made aluminium very cheap. Earlier, due to the cost of extraction, aluminium was very costly. But Charles Hall discovered that if an impure cryolite was added to aluminium oxide, its extraction could be done very easily. And as you know, aluminium is used in numerous household appliances. Here are some of the contributions by our notable chemists. In 1630, carbon dioxide was discovered by Van Helmont. In 1772, Rutherford discovered nitrogen. In 1774, Joseph Priestley discovered oxygen and ammonia. In 1777, Lavoisier found that sulfur is an element. He also stated the law of conservation of mass. In 1807, John Dalton gave the atomic theory. At the turn of 19th century, modern atomic theory was established. John Jacob Berzelius developed the modern system of symbols and formula. He discovered elements like silicon, selenium, thorium, and cesium. Dmitry Mendeleev was a Russian scientist who classified the elements and developed the first periodic table. Louis Pasteur developed a process called pasteurization, which involves heating milk and other beverages to kill the harmful microorganisms present in them. Now we are going to learn about food preservation and its methods in detail. The process of treating of food to stop or slow down spoilage and prevent loss of its nutritive value is called food preservation. It helps to maintain the same taste and flavor and to prevent the growth of bacteria, fungi, and other microorganisms. Now we will see some methods of food preservation, that is, pickling. Food preserved in vinegar preserves meat, vegetables due to the action of acetic acid which prevents microbial growth. Next method is salting. Food preserved in salt, such as fish and meat. Salt prevent microbial growth. Next method is smoking. Smoking of fish and meat prevent spoilage by dehydration. The wood smoke contains large number of compounds which are antimicrobial and slow rancidification of animal fats. Next method is canning. Canning means food contents are processed and sealed in an airtight container at high temperature. Example are meat, fish, fruits and vegetables. Next method is bottling. In bottling, food contents are processed and sealed in an airtight bottle at high temperature. Example, liquid foods like milk, wine, etc. Next method is pasteurization, that is, the process of heating milk below boiling point to kill pathogenic bacteria to make the food safe to eat. Next method is refrigeration. Here the food is kept at low temperature. At 4 degrees Celsius, the food remains unspoiled. Minus 18 degrees Celsius is considered to be the freezer temperature, and deep freezers, that is minus 60 degrees Celsius, are good for storing meat and fish. Even we use certain chemicals as preservative, such as sodium benzoate is used in preserving colored fruits and vegetables. Potassium metabisulfite, source of sulfur dioxide, is used in the preservation of colorless fruits such as lychee and apples. Pectin powder is used in preserving jams and jellies. Now we will see that how cosmetics and chemistry are related to each other. But before that, we will just see that how cosmetics was used in ancient times. In 4000 BC, the Egyptians applied mesdemet made up of copper and lead ore, bright green paste to their faces, red clay to their lips and cheeks, and henna to dye nails. During 1500 BC in China and Japan, rice powder was used to paint faces pasty white. During 1000 BC in Greece, they used chalk or white lead face powder to have a white look. During 100 AD in Rome, people put barley, flour, and butter on their pimples and sheep's fat and blood on their fingernails for polish. Even Egyptian queen Cleopatra used to bath in milk. In cosmetics, water, emulsifiers, preservatives, thickness, pH stabilizers, dyes, fragrances are combined in different ratios and are used for different purposes. Most of the foaming cosmetics, such as toothpaste, shampoo, shower gel, have sodium lauryl sulfate or sodium laureth sulfate as ingredients. Talcum powder has magnesium carbonate and zinc oxide. Nail paints and lip color contain titanium dioxide. Creams have zinc oxide, and titanium dioxide is also used in sunscreens that give complete protection without the effect of a white layer on the skin. Even fluoride in our toothpaste remineralizes tooth enamel, prevents tooth decay, and also exerts antibacterial properties. Thank you students for watching this video. We'll soon meet in the second part of the video.